Buildings have feelings too. 2.5 out of 5 from Screen Rant. Let's take a look at the Metacritic. Oh wait, let's look at Steam. Mixed reviews. 57% of the reviews are positive. Let's read a few of the Steam reviews. Charming city building puzzle game, annoying controls. Improper mouse control, clunky, made them quit. So here's another one. This sucks. Really awesome art style, fantastic visuals. The controls, terrible. They don't even work sometimes. Practically nothing's explained. I almost needed a walkthrough for the tutorial because I thought I was doing something wrong. Now let's go to Metacritic and see what other tidbits they have for us. Okay, so we have one user review with a score of 0. Born Dead. Boring, frustrating, difficult, and unforgiving. Bad realization of an uninteresting... Oh, sorry. Bad realization of an interesting idea. Bad promotion. No one cares. And it's real something that the highest critic review is a 70. Lowest is a 42 from Gaming Age. In an ideal world, Buildings Have Feelings 2 would have found a way to couple its inventive premise and fun aesthetic with equally enjoyable gameplay. As it stands, however, there's just too great a disconnect between the two to make the game worth your while. So it sounds like it has a fun premise, and it's stylistically pleasant, but the control kills it. Let's say goodbye to Buildings Have Feelings too. Let's see if they can pop out enough people to make a chain of fire. Oh! It looks like they won't. Oh! Smoosh. Smoosh, 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 smoosh. Goodbye, Buildings Have Feelings too. No one cares about your feelings. Yeah, next game looks like it's D&D Dark Alliance. A game that I was actually interested in when I first heard about it. Alright, 4 out of 10 from IGN, 3 out of 5 from Eurogamer, 82% from PC Gamer. And was this game on Steam? Or was this, yeah, here it is. Let's take a look at what the Steam reviews say. Let's see. Lifetime reviews, 50% are positive. 70% in the last 30 days are positive. That's still not remarkable. Let's see what some of the reviews have to say. Controls are atrociously clunky. Major pet peeve and why you can't play the game, or why they can't play the game or recommend it, who shares the same pet peeve. Map looks extremely linear with very little options of direction when it comes to navigating terrain. One person says, feels like the game was made by an indie company and not in a good way. The original Dark Alliance games are leagues better. Let's see, and they say, animation needs tweaking, controls are loose, don't have a good feel, audio sounds like it isn't coming from the right directions, combat feels boring, doesn't make them want to keep playing, some areas feel arbitrarily long, difficulty and rating don't make sense, rewards are lacking, shopping feels tedious, network and connection issues, and multiplayer issues. That's always the worst. See, I wanted to love this game. Alright. Okay. The elf couldn't take it anymore. The elf was like, oh, I've been on the screen with Dark Alliance way too long. Boom goes the dynamite. About halfway done now. This one's called Evil Inside. 3 out of 10 by Gaming Bolt. 44% on OpenCritic. Not sure what that is. 43% Metacritic. And are there Steam reviews? Yes, there are. All the reviews are mixed. 48% are positive. That's less than half. Let's see. One person says, game was underwhelming. The jump scares were too predictable. Managed to complete the game in under an hour. And disappointed you don't even get to use the Ouija board. Game felt super empty, void of detail, not worth the money. One perk was getting to see the ghost lady from Phasmophobia. $13 for a 1 hour game? I mean, geez. I mean, you could play... Doesn't Phasmophobia cost about that same amount, but you could play it over and over and over again with friends? Yeah, I would say that's not worth the money. Real charming cover art. Book of Darkness. Now, if I recall correctly, that makes acid rain start to fall. So you know what? Let's see if we can destroy everything on the screen with the acid rain. There we go. Look at that acid rain. It's going to disintegrate everything. Wow, really? Doesn't wear off, does it? Badge. Guess it takes certain parts longer to disintegrate than others. Oh. Just the zombie brain left. I like how even the zombie's not even here anymore, it's just the brain, but it still does the zombie grunts. That's hilarious. Ah yes, FIFA 22. I'm sure this one needs no explanation, but just for kicks, no pun intended, let's look. I think it was FIFA 22 Legacy Edition. Yeah, FIFA 22 Legacy Edition specifically. 2 out of 10 on IGN. 2 out of 10 on Nintendo Life. 77% on OpenCritic. Might be some EA butt kissing going on there. IGN says FIFA 22 on Switch is the latest example of little to no respect being paid towards a fan base being asked to pay a premium price for a virtually unchanged product. It's just not good enough. Nintendo Life says, FIFA 22 marks the third time EA has given us FIFA 19 with a different shirt on. It may clearly state Legacy Edition on the title, but being kicked in the groin isn't any less painful if your assailant tells you they're going to do it in advance. Once again, EA has insulted Switch owners by giving them the version it usually releases on dead systems. Do not accept it. Now let's look at some player reviews. Well, user reviews. EA can sell people the same thing for years and still make money with it. You would have to laugh if it wasn't so impudent. Yeah, and you know what I think mostly keeps it going? Tons of kids who don't really know any better, constantly asking their parents or grandparents to buy them the next FIFA game, and them going out and getting it, and parents having no freaking idea what a good game is or isn't. Then you got hardcore FIFA players who will always buy the newest FIFA because they're so obsessed with just staying up to date, and they don't care about how repetitive it is because they're competitive and they want to stay at the top because there's like professional FIFA players and shit. So that part of it keeps it going. Then there's just your run-of-the-mill EA kiss-asses who, you know, because they've played so many good EA games in the past, they'll overlook, you know, EA doing other shitty things. Never mind, I think they won Worst Company in the World 2 years in a row. This person says, I gave it a 3. When you can actually connect to another player, which can take up to 90 minutes, and if you play a match, you actually love it. But you don't like 40 minutes or so to search for a game. Wow. Here's a 10 out of 10 review with some username that just looks like a random string text with 666 at the end. The game is revelational. Gameplay is amazing and the graphics are poetry for Switch. For a Switch. Not Switch, for a Switch. 10 out of 10 for me. That's either a bot, a shill, or a paid endorser. I don't know who that's supposed to be on the cover, but I hope he isn't getting too much hate for being associated with this embarrassment. Because the disc is basically like, yep, we're basically just gonna dump the source code from FIFA 19 and just update the roster and maybe dump in a couple simple new features, which are actually old features we previously took out. Oh. Hey! Come on, Mr. Exterminator. You gotta exterminate this bad game. Oh yeah, look at all that poop. Swim in the poop, FIFA. Swim in the poop! Green, burning green, smelly, pixelated poop. Next game on the list. Yes, Foreclosed. Peggy 16. So it must have some suggestive themes. Okay, let's look at the Steam reviews. Let's start with that. Mixed. 63% of the reviews are positive, and there's only 33 of them. One says, product refunded. If you're looking for a graphic novel with some action elements, Foreclosed can be a good fit. Even then, the gunplay aspects are too simple and repetitive. The art direction is pretty good, but the underlying game mechanics fall too simple in your opinion, or in my opinion. Also, the voice acting is subpar. It tries to resemble the Max Payne 1 type of dramatic voice acting style. However, it sounds, again, too simple and takes you away from the game due to lack of emotions in the voice or incompatible emotion in the voice acting compared to what it is supposed to be. Alright, let's see what Metacritic says. Games.cz, I guess that's a Czech website. Foreclosed looks nice, and somewhere deep inside there are a few interesting ideas, but that is unfortunately that. The gameplay itself is horrendous, as is the story accompanying it. CD Action says, not a great adventure game and a weak action title. Foreclosed's only aspect that deserves praise are its comic book style visuals. Okay, here's a 50 from Shack News. I also wish some narrative sections played out to their end and the choices mattered a bit more, but Foreclosed tells its story and gets out. I can't fault it for not overstaying. If you want a snappy cyberpunk adventure, it might be worth seeing how the story of Evan Kapnos and his fight for his own identity play out. Just be prepared to deal with some average and occasionally frustrating gameplay all along the way. Alright, here we go. Ahoy! Ahoy! Yeah. Alright. I was gonna rain fire. Is it eventually gonna fall down? No, it's not gonna rain fire, but I have to imagine once it burns a certain amount, it's gonna fall down. Yep, there we go. Online piracy combo. There we go. Yeah, certainly wouldn't be the first game that is described as visually appealing, but pretty much sucks in every other way. That will do it for this chapter. Thank you for checking out my channel. If you like my content, please tell me in the comments below, or if you have any general feedback, I'd welcome that as well. Make sure you subscribe so that you're always up to date with all of my latest gaming adventures.